So our next speaker is Kalen Michael, who's the head of growth at Ultralytics and also a seasoned coder with a passion for efficiency and problem solving. So he was gifted his first computer by some very smart parents at the age of 13. And then Kalen embarked on a lifelong journey of programming. So as he delved deeper into the world of coding, the hunger for learning new languages only grew stronger, leaving him eagerly awaiting a future where skills can be downloaded, much like the Matrix. Oh my God, take my money. I would love to know Kung Fu. It's never too late. I live in hope. Okay, so Kalen is the face behind Ultralytics' no-code, end-to-end machine learning platform, Ultralytics HUB. So in this talk, Kalen is going to explain how Ultralytics HUB lowers the barriers to entering into the world of machine learning, making it accessible to individuals and businesses alike, regardless of coding experience. Yes, please, that sounds up my street. So we're going to learn how this platform is set to revolutionize the way we approach machine learning, empowering a new generation of data enthusiasts to turn their ideas into reality with unprecedented ease. That sounds awesome. My dear friends, please give it up for Kalen Michael. Thank you.
Yeah. Quick correction there. So, yeah.
Sorry. No, I just, you got the mic there. Can everyone hear?
Everyone hear, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good,
awesome.
Good.
Quick correction. I'm the head of product. We have over here Paula, head of growth. So just a quick correction there. Hope everybody's doing good today. Thank you very much for coming out. We're really excited to have you here and to kind of show you a little bit about what we've been up to at Ultralytics. We have obviously our YOLO team that's done some fantastic work, and that's a lot more kind of available and open for you guys to see, as we have everything available on GitHub. And then we have the Hub product that's not as easy to kind of figure out what's going on there. It is available for anybody to kind of enter, create a free account and start using. But obviously, as it's not open source, we haven't done the best job at promoting the features. We want to kind of just do a little demo there so you guys know what you can get up to. So I'll go through the slides here. So first off, we're going to go through just a little intro of who I am and then what Ultralytics Hub is. And then we'll talk about why it's important in advancements and anything we want to do going forward at Ultralytics. All righty. Cool. So had a little demo there to who I am. So I work at Ultralytics here in the product, working with integrating YOLO and the Hub product. And we're trying to build a platform, a no-code, low-code solution for everybody out there who wants to just kind of get started with AI, but don't necessarily want to get involved with the technical aspects of it. It can be quite complicated. And with all the power that's behind AI, computer vision in general, we don't feel like it should be limited to the tech gurus, right? We want to put it in the hands of every developer out there. So I've been coding for a long time. I've done a lot of different projects, know a lot of different languages, been building sort of custom software for companies, all the way up to just websites. And at the moment, we're working on the Hub products. We're building, as I mentioned, that platform over there. Cool. So what is Ultralytics Hub? So the Ultralytics Hub is our no-code, low-code solution for YOLO. So we basically built a front end on top of YOLO, the YOLO V8 at the moment. And it allows people to just do everything that you can do right now with YOLO, but with a mouse, point and click. So it takes away that barrier to entry, right? So if you're a developer and you want to get started, but you don't want to mess around in the terminal, or you don't really have a good understanding of Python because you work with some other kind of framework or tool language, this is a great way to get started. It's pretty simple tool. And we give you all the features that you can do currently with YOLO itself. And with plans to kind of extend on that and give you more in the future. That's the direction we're heading in. All right. So just going through a few things we can do here. So the first thing we allow you guys to do is go ahead and upload a data set into Ultralytics Hub. Now your data sets can be managed from Hub directly. So that allows you to kind of train data and share it across with your teams and just kind of you have a place to manage exactly the data that you're using at the time. You can also go ahead and select the model that you want to train with. We currently allow you to just use our default models as base models, but we do have plans in the near future to allow you to actually train on top of your own custom models. So that's coming pretty soon, and that'll be quite an exciting feature. I think we've had a lot of users asking for that. And then we allow you to deploy your model to the real world. We have, at the moment, that our deployment features need a bit of work. We do allow you to export to several different formats. We allow you to download the formats to our iOS apps and Android apps and actually preview your model in real time. I'll show you that in a second. That's quite fun to play with because you can see your model really working. And then we also have an API available for you guys if you want to just kind of offload the hardware aspect of inference onto our servers. So that's what we allow you there. So let me just quickly flip over here to the hub. And I'll give you a quick walkthrough for those of you guys who haven't been able to see it yet. So here I'm in my hub account, and we have the dashboard that just kind of welcomes you to the tool and allows you to kind of just get a glance of what's happening. The first thing you can see is we have a quick box that has a tutorial to walk you through the basics, as you'll see in most SaaS products these days. We have our recent tools that allows you to quickly pop into any model, dataset, or project you've created recently. And then we have some quick start action points here for datasets, projects, and models. And this will allow you to just go ahead and get started. So say if I wanted to create or upload a new dataset, I would just go ahead and click that. And here I can go and select which task I want to do. So the datasets we support at the moment, 4 different tasks: classify, detect, segment, and pose. And these are quite fun to play with. So I encourage you to have a little play around later on. What you'll do is you'll go ahead and upload your dataset. And we show you on the bottom over here, we built a little tool. We've had some issues recently with people not understanding the YOLO format. So we built a little demo tool that you can walk through what your data set should look like based on the task you've selected and how your labels should be organized as well. So hopefully that helps out some of our users. So there you go for that. Once you've uploaded your data set, you will then be able to go ahead and preview it. And I will show you some examples here. So if I have an object detection demo, for example. So here I have my data set with the actual labels applied. So I can go and check and just make sure that my labels are working. At the moment, we only allow previewing with plans in the future to allow you to edit and modify your labels. Currently, you can just take a preview of them there. We also give you some insight into the different classes that you have, and you can go through by splits, and some more technical information here with regards to the data set, just to try and help make sure that you have the best kind of data set that you can have. Then we have projects. Projects you can think of as folders. It's just a quick way to group together a bunch of different models that you want to train. This is a cool feature because once you have a bunch of models inside of your project, you will actually be able to go and compare them across on charts. You can see how the models are performing against each other. This is going to be quite useful if you're playing around with configurations and you're trying to really optimize that model. So that's something that we're quite excited about over there. And then in the overview tab of your project, you can go ahead and check out all of the models that you have applied to this project. And this is obviously where you get the real work done, so inside of the model itself. So if you were to go ahead and create a model, once you have created a model, you have access to this dashboard. Now, we actually have applied real-time training. So you connect your agent up to train your hub model. You will see training in real time. So you'll be able to actually watch as each epoch comes in from our server, and you can keep a sort of percentage of how long it's going to take until the model completes. So that's quite helpful as well to just sort of, if you want to dip in, see how's my model doing, is it doing well, has my map started to dip, should I stop this training, do I want to carry on with it, etc. We've also added in the resume feature as well, which is helpful because we have integrated Colab into the system. So for those of you guys who don't have your own hardware, but you want to get started training a model, you just hook up Hub into the Colab notebook we've created for you, pretty simply start training your model. But as Colab does have some timeouts, you can sometimes crash and you might lose your training. What we do is we actually, on regular intervals, we upload checkpoints to the Hub server that allows you to just resume from that checkpoint so you don't have to waste that much time. We don't do it for every epoch, but we do try to limit it. So if you have a long training model, you don't have to spend too much time going back and dealing with it. So once you've had your model trained, you'll actually be able to come over here to the preview tab. And here's where you can just play around and actually see the model in real time. So we give you 2 options where you can upload an image, or you can select one of our demo images. And you can also select the webcam and just kind of test out, take a snap from the webcam. So that would do, let me see if this, I have a demo model here, so this might not be the best model to demo on, but there you can see it's found a person in the frame. We have this also applied for all the other models that I've showed you before. So if you train a model on a different data set, obviously that model will then be able to use that task. So if you had to go ahead and train a model perhaps on a segmentation data set and then do the same thing we should then go ahead and get segmentation results. So there you go, you can see. So I have a nano model here trained very quickly as a demo for you guys. So if you had to optimize this, play with the parameters, you start to get some better results. We also allow you to go ahead and use our API over here if you want to integrate this into your app, as I mentioned before, but you don't want to use your own hardware. This is currently a shared API, so that means that there is some latency in the response. But with the Pro feature, we're gonna give you guys access to dedicated APIs, and that will allow you to have a much faster, lower latency response if you're trying to do a sort of professional application. So this is think of it more as a sort of introduction API for you guys who want to play around, build a MVP, show off to your classmates, etc. And then finally, on the model, we have the deploy tab. And this is when you can actually get your model out. So now you want to take your model out of the hub and you want to put it in the real world. We give you these 2 blocks on the top, which are our real-time previews using our app. And then we have all the different other export options that you could expect. I think we've pretty much included everything you could possibly want, but feel free to call me out and post this in a GitHub issue if there's something else you're looking for. And once you've gone ahead and exported your model using our cloud service, so you don't need your hardware for that, you can download that model and then integrate it as you guys would like to. We do have plans in the future to kind of work on this workflow a little bit better and help to kind of get back some results from the model in the future, monitor it, improve on your data set. So we have a lot of stuff, exciting stuff coming on in the future. All right, so let me switch back here real quick. Just a quick demo of the hub. Then we have the Ultralytics app. So unfortunately, up here, I can't actually share my phone screen, but I will show you a quick video. So we have the app, and this is the second part to the hub, which just really makes it feel a lot more exciting, right? Because you can go on the hub, you can upload your data set, you can configure your model as you need to, you can train it, you can export it to our app, and then you can pop your app out. And once you have your app out, you'll actually be able to go into your project, select the project that you're looking for, download that model, and then once the model is downloaded, you can actually see it run in real time. So currently the app supports only object detection, but we are looking to add in classification and pose in the next few weeks and then move on to segmentation, which is a little bit more challenging. But that's definitely really a cool, fun feature to play with. So there we go with the app. Okay. So why is the hub important? So I'm a developer by trade. I've now moved up in the company. We're trying to kind of do more of the header product side of things. But I wasn't really familiar too much with the AI world, computer vision world in particular, until I met Glenn some years back. And then we kind of connected, being both programmers, and it turned out that we had complementary things we could do in order for me to kind of create his vision of what he wanted to create for Hub. Along with Sergio over here in the front as well, who's been the main developer with the app, so really happy with his work, and he's done a great job. So the cool thing about Hub and why we really got excited about it is because we wanted to use these tools, but we didn't want to have to be math geniuses. We didn't want to have to understand what's happening behind the model, what is the algorithm, like why am I having issues plugging this into my system, what libraries do I have to install, like all these complications. We just wanted to be able to build some kind of tool in Flutter, or build a tool in native code, or even JavaScript, or whatever, and just plug in the model and have it work. And this is what we're trying to achieve here. So we're trying to empower developers to really use this tool. And I think a lot of people get a little bit confused, probably none of you in the room, but a lot of people out in the world get confused about the benefits of computer vision and these tools themselves. And you think about, okay, you show them a demo where you're getting object detection results, segmentation results, and they're like, that's cool, but what am I going to do with that, right? And I think the more people that we can give access to that are able to use these tools, the more creative, like sort of software we're going to start to see coming out. And that's what we're really excited about. Because effectively all we're doing is we're giving a machine eyes, and anything you guys can do with your eyes, the machine can now do, which is pretty powerful, right? So really excited about that. We're trying to keep it simple. That's something very important in Ultralytics, comes down from Glenn. Glenn, funny enough, is not simple. He knows way too much, extremely intelligent, but he has a really good way of kind of getting that sort of funneled down into an easier way for everybody else to understand. So he carries that across in the rest of the company, and we try to emulate that. We try to take these complex sort of tools and topics and just make it really easy, you know? Why should you have to figure out what you're doing when you can just click start, bam, download, bam, integrate, there we go. So that is like a big thing that we're trying to do there. And yeah, we want to turn challenges into solutions, which you guys have already seen out there in the world. I mean, we have computer vision being used in Tesla to drive cars. We have AI collecting plastic from the oceans. We have a lot of really cool stuff, auto farming, so cancer detection. So we have a lot of really cool tools that are out there. We want that to grow. And we want just any random person to be able to do this, right? That's the goal, what we're trying to do here. All right, cool. So then we have the Ultralytics Pro feature, which we're releasing this month. So it's currently available. We are still doing some final QA on some of the features, but this month everything will be available to users. So we have Hub Free, which is available to anybody. Always log in, create an account, create multiple accounts if you need to. You have access to that, and you're welcome to use it. And then we have an upgrade available that gives you some additional features. The reason we charge for that is just because we have to pay for that. We would give everything away for free if we could, but ultimately these things are running on our server, and Google doesn't give us a discount, so we have to pay back. So if you go ahead and create a Pro account, you can upgrade. You get some additional things there. You get extra storage, say 10 times the amount of storage is available to you. You also get to train some models in the cloud. So instead of connecting your own local agent or using Colab, you can just click start, bam, we train, return the model, have everything you need. You get REST API access. So if you want to kind of build Hub into your own tool, you're able to do that as well. Download the model, download the data set, run export. So that's quite cool. And we also have, as part of the REST access, we have a Python SDK that you can use to integrate into your Python application if you wanted to. Along with that, also will be coming the option to, in the future, to be able to train from Hub directly from the CLI. So you can create a model in Python or in the command line and send all your data directly up to Hub. And then, of course, Teams collaboration, which is not really that important to an individual student, but when you get to a team size or enterprise, you're going to want to be able to share your models, share your data set, reduce redundancy, etc. So that's another feature that we have there as well. And then next year, we have the Hub Enterprise coming, which is going to include some new features. Now, I want to make it kind of clear to everybody out there that we are planning to do things this way, but we're 100% open to hear back from everybody else and kind of adjust direction, do what we're trying to build something for the users ultimately. So we really encourage people to come back to GitHub Issues, which is our main way of managing our input from our customers, from the users, etc. So if you can just hit up our GitHub, obviously we have Ultralytics, Ultralytics/Hub. Those are our two main entry points. Feel free to pop on, leave us an issue, ask us what you want, tell us what you need, tell us what's not working, tell us your frustrations, so that we can adapt this tool for you. We're building it for you, not for us. So that's really important to mention there. So onward and upwards, you can see the timeline of things that we're planning here. So we have the Hub launch this month. Next year we have we have the Pro launch this month. Next year we have the Enterprise launch. And then we have a lot of just really cool ideas that we really want to make this tool not just a simple tool, but also a useful tool. So we want to keep the simplicity, but we want to give you access to a lot more features. So we want you to be able to play around with monitoring, get back results. We want to give you more access to what's happening during training. You can play around and see what was going wrong there, perhaps in your instance or whatever. And we want to give you, obviously, more data set options, better deployment options, to just kind of complete the pipeline so you can ideally stay in the cycle over there. So we have some really exciting ideas coming. And as Len mentioned before, we keep all these roadmaps public on GitHub. So if you go to the Ultralytics organization, github.com/Ultralytics, you can take a look at all of our projects there and the things we're planning. And it's another place for you to make sure that we're heading in the same direction you want us to. That's very important to us. All righty. So that's everything from my side. I want to leave a few minutes to take any questions. So we'll take questions from, I guess, online from Talia, but anyone in the audience as well, feel free to ask questions. I think we have a mic we can pass around. Yeah.
Fantastic. First, a big round of applause for Kalen Michael. That was fantastic. Great stuff. Okay, I'm going to walk towards the young gentleman with the hand up. Do we have any questions online that we could go with first? Well, I'm taking my time to walk up here.
So we can start with live first.
I'll start with live first. Okay. Actually, we have another handy microphone here. This is where you get to see my athletic prowess or not. Okay, if you could introduce yourself to the room. Thank you.
So you mentioned that I can connect to Google Colab while training.
Mhm.
So is there any future plan to connect with other clouds like AWS or?
Yep. Yes, 100%. So we give you the option to connect an agent, which effectively means you can download our Python package from PyPy. You can connect the Hub agent. So currently you can connect anything you want to Hub, right? But obviously it's a little bit of kind of work behind the scenes. So in the future, as a next step, we want to allow you to connect to your cloud directly without having to do any setup with pass-through billing, for example. So that would allow you to select your AWS instance, hit connect, and would start running.
Okay, and you mentioned also that the subscriptions because you pay for something. So connecting to other clouds, you will pay for something. So this will not be included in the free package?
We haven't got to the implementation of that yet, so it's difficult to give you a straight answer. But because we have to do pass-through billing in that case, it's probable that you would have to upgrade because we would have to have some way to kind of make that charge. But as we haven't got to the implementation yet, we might find a workaround that would allow us to give it to free users as well, where you could just be redirected and make payment directly. Yeah.
Okay, last point. So I noticed also that in the packages, the middle one, it was mentioned that I can use Ultralytics clouds. So can you give us some information about the cloud, about the resources, size of the GPUs and this stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
So we're using a T4 GPU. We only have one option right now for cloud. So you can't customize it yet. We do have plans to customize it. We currently are using a NVIDIA T4 24 gigabyte GPU. That's what gets assigned to you. You have 15 gigs of RAM and four virtual CPUs. And that gets assigned directly to your training instance. So that's what you'll have access to for the first iteration of cloud training.
Okay, thank you very much.
Fantastically detailed question. Thank you. Great answers as well. Really very interesting. So do we have any more questions coming in online? Do we have questions live in the room? Talia, what say you?
Yeah, so I'll ask a question from me. What new feature in Ultralytics HUB Pro are you specifically most excited about?
It's kind of difficult to answer that because, I was here at the birth of this idea, I remember me and Glenn going to grab, I think it was a taco or burrito or something, and we were talking about what this could potentially be, right? So coming from that, when it's just an idea to actually having it working, I just get excited about everything. The other day I was showing a friend of mine how it works, and I went through the whole process. I uploaded a quick data set that I sourced from RoboFlow, and then I just went and trained it real quickly, downloaded the app, downloaded the model, and it was to detect plants. I have a lot of plants in my house, so it was to show if the plants are healthy or unhealthy. So I'm walking around just sort of showing how the plants are, and it was just impossible for me not to be super excited about that. It's just really, really cool to see this thing working and imagine how this can benefit all the rest of the users that we have. I think at the moment we recently launched the camera inference in the preview, and then also the new tasks to the data set. So I'd probably answer as that for the moment, but literally just because it's new. I think I love everything about the tool.
Awesome. So we also have a question. Is Ultralytics Hub equipped to handle analytics and monitoring events for various use cases?
Okay, so this is basically what we want to do as a next step in terms of monitoring. So we don't have anything like that in place yet, but we plan to really dedicate a lot of work in that direction. We want to add another step into our current sort of 3-step process. We want to add another step where you can monitor and really pay attention to the model. You can get some feedback as to whether your model's performing good on certain classes or underperforming, etc. And we want to allow the user to take a look at that data once it's been used in real time and figure out what the issues are and how they can go back and fix their data set to start over. And we're planning to use some things in combination, like, for example, tracking. If we are running inference and we're running tracking at the same time, we can capture the frames in between where no objects were detected or no segmentation was detected. And we can then take a snapshot of that image and suggest that that image gets sent back to the new data set for retraining to kind of improve it as it goes along. So some of the tactics we have in mind.
Cool. And another question that we have here is, Similar to the Ultralytics package, will Hub provide a seamless one-click experience for users?
Yeah, so that is the plan, right? So we have right now, we have the Colab integration, which we try to do as much at one click as possible. But you have to obviously copy and paste your API key, etc. We have the integration of Ultralytics Python package as well, which we have the Hub SDK coming out. So there's a little bit of code there. I think in order for one click, the only option we will have is the cloud training, which will literally just be set it up, click start. But the Hub SDK, which is the Python pip package coming that links up to the REST API for Hub, it's not going to be complicated to use. Very simple. Initialize a class and just .start or .train, etc. So it will be pretty simple. Yeah, that's the idea. Tell us if we're wrong.
Excellent. So those are all of the questions that we have for you. I think that it is worth noting to add that they are saying you're superhuman in the chat. So, but yeah, if anyone else has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat or message Kalen directly.
Well, cool. Thanks very much for having me, guys, and thanks for coming out. And feel free to come by and chat to me later if you have any questions. We'll grab a coffee, whatever.
Kalen Michael, the superhuman head of product at Ultralytics. Thank you so much. That was genuinely fascinating. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you.